Hello everybody, welcome to the RCLC City County. In this video, we'll do a little something different. Instead of talking to you in the game itself, we're going to talk about more and far in depth about the rules for everyone. To me, rules for civilians/criminals. Instead of just having civilian role to like other servers or criminals like other servers do, I decided to do civilians/criminals. Anybody is given this particular rule right here. At a later time in the video, probably, you'll also be given the other role known as the Spicy Certified Mulligan role. But we'll talk about roles at another time, maybe at another video, if time permits. So when you join for the first time, you'll be placed in the probation period. A probation period role will be in orange with some corner ending probation date attached to it. It is to see if you are still in the server and you have one full week to get as much knowledge as around the game in Discord as possible. But if you decide to stay within the server and don't want a staff role at the moment, you will still be given the Civilian Criminal and Spicy Certified Mulligan role. As always, have fun and see you on the streets of the RCLC City County server. Number 2. Profile, Appearance, and Roles. Upon joining, create yourself an identity at the DMV. If you don't want to go to the DMV, that is fine. But make sure your avatar is suitable to the RP what you wish to be. You can be whatever you want. There is no restrictions. There is no blacklisted to whoever you want to be. For one weird example, you want to be a dinosaur. Since you can't technically use nails or claws in the game as a dinosaur, grab yourself a nail at the tool store or a knife and pretend that I am calling you like a dinosaur. Or if you decide to become a taxi driver, make sure your outfit does not have you wearing a trooper hat, because you know in real life, taxi drivers or even dinosaurs don't have taps. So really be what you want to be, but show it in your outfit. As for law enforcement, fire and rescue, or even DOT, for call signs, I do not care what you use. Number 3, respect. Do I really gotta explain respect? But for example, in RP, a DOT employee is asking you to direct traffic. Go right and follow his or her orders. Number 4, dead revive. We do enforce the rules of many other rules ahead, but the one rule is if you happen to die, you have 2 options. Either 1, play it out and let it RP, or if you choose to respawn, if you're not a moderator, or if there's no medical, you were to follow the letters, the abbreviation, NLR. NLR stands for New Life Rule. You are not allowed to go to the same scene if you were killed in action or with an RP. If it allows you, let the moderator, a civilian moderator, or a criminal mod let you know at once. Whoever of the staff is on duty will tell you what goes on moving forward. Number 5. Department role rules. Make sure you understand that we do not have blacklisted roles. You can be whatever you want as long as you follow the rules for everyone, such as FBI, SWAT, detective, or even a detective, which in the game calls ghost vehicles. You're not to do any frame of saying that you are a cop, you flash your lights. Even at night, cops still have to obey the rules of the road as if in real life. Just do not make sure you know, driving like a criminal or a civilian, you can drive as GTA driving as I do not enforce that. But do not bait cops, as that is against the rules of department role rules. Number 6. Do not FRP, so roleplay, nor do not say I am not roleplay. If you do choose not to roleplay, do a different roleplay or get out. Yeah, you heard me correctly. If you don't want to roleplay for anything and you just think, I don't want to do this, then you are more than welcome to do another game. Just do something else if you find your role you're currently doing is boring to yourself. Holiday spirit games? We'll talk about these other ones at a later video. As holidays come up, we'll talk more about this. Traffic stop rules. As you probably haven't figured out yet or know, we are a VC optional server. You could talk in the game, talk verbally in the game, or you can bring someone who is in the server and these VCs. Follow the instructions correctly in here if you are in the Discord, or have your fellow officer tell you what you have to do moving forward if he or she did recruit you to join our server. Number 9, chatting in Discord. If you do happen to be in the Discord and it's your first time, there is a lot of text channels of what to talk about. Make sure you please know where to talk to, like in the chatting community, the holiday spirit, the member of the week, or even the welcome page. Those are just a few examples of say whatever you want to say. Of course, as long as you follow the rules of terms of services, you don't want to say something completely out of the ordinary or inappropriate to yourself or to your fellow members in the server, or admins or moderators. There are also tabs that you can only communicate about what the topic talks about. For one example, if you see something called promotion or role job, talk about only what's in relation of that topic. Don't talk about something such as DOT or even law enforcement. Go to the chat and community, or even go to the DOT chat, which is right over here for that one example. No, topics are only for viewing, such as the rules, the general rules, the index codes, staff punishments and consequences. You only are supposed to be viewing that. Number 10, language, comments, and communication. As we all know, we all like to say a lot of things that come on our mind, within real life or even in the game. We might not be a realistic, strict server, but try to avoid talking tough topics about politics, inappropriate stuff such as NSFW, not safe for work content, FRP this, or anything about it unless you plan to DM any owners or admins or moderators. Try to avoid saying that to avoid with more consequences towards your status. You don't want to be given a strike, then strike 2, and then you end up being suspended or eventually fired or even kicked from the server. Number 11, members of the week. Mondays, time will vary. Only on Mondays, any civilian, anybody, moderators, a staff role, or even admins, which is a higher member of staff, is allowed to obtain it. There is no 1 or 2 or anybody. Hell, even the entire server can become member of the week if you follow this criteria. I'll let you have a few seconds to look at this, but anyone who joins the server for the first time will be able to get this attached to them as a direct message to you only. These are your prizes, which we won't go full in depth in this video, but I'll let you have a few seconds to look at that. If you wish to snapshot it, take it now. Moving on. Choosing the correct incorrect vehicle and departments. Most of the time in vehicles, mod staff or even admins in private servers of RCLC, they will spawn to you and say, hey, that's blacklisted, in which you're not allowed to drive them. Harsh. But this also almost follows the term whitelisted, meaning it goes to only you individually if you do a task or 2. Most of the custom liveries you're allowed to drive are allowed, but only in the RCPD. Sorry if you can't see this, but this is the LCSO, EMS Fire Station 1, or EMS Fire Station 2. Other teams such as the Civilian mod, the Criminal mod, or even DOT don't really have public cars. But as long as you follow these 4 notes, you will understand. As for number 4, it says for the RCP, for vehicles, if you are concerned, if you can drive them, you are allowed to drive them if they're default ELS. As for the RCPD, the ELS default is red and blue. So spawn in a car. If it's all red, if it's red and blue only, you can drive it. If it's all blue and you're on the LCSO, you can drive it. But if you need to know more information, you're more than welcome to click on our facts for number 19 and know what does it mean if somebody says, does it belong to the public? Moving on. 13. Admins and mod staff. We don't really got to explain this. If this is your first time joining the server, talk to one of the admins that name is outlined in red. You could probably see on the right, we have a couple admins all on duty right now. Some of them are not, some are doing their own business. But any member in dark blue, or light blue I should really say, is technically a moderator. For example, we have one moderator that you can see in my direct headquarters, known as Speedy. His status is right here. He is a moderator, as opposed to a member down below for Timmy Gaming 05. His name is in red, so he is an admin. If your name happened to be in white, it only means you technically only, your highest role is really a civilian criminal. Or, what we talked earlier at the beginning of this video, you are technically a spicy certified mulligan. It's just a role that we were given from one member to you. Finally, number 14. Avoid being active after your probation period. After 7 days, when you follow the criteria of what I expect you to follow a video, make sure you talk. You're only active twice on the weekend. But let's go to down here first, the civilian criminal roster, which has only people who don't have mod staff or admin on their status. Now, we won't go in full all in one video, but I will briefly talk about when you are joined the server for the first time, you'll be brought in here. Your name will be down here. So we have these fellow members who have no mod staff, head moderator, or admin role on their status. Some of them will have the probation period. Some of them won't. But I have mentioned that during the school year of August 1st to June the 3rd, including holidays and Saturdays and Sundays, all members, both here and in the staff member roster, which you'll look very soon, are not required to be active as much. Why? Because of this. Education is important far more than this. This is what your staff member roster looks like. Thank you, and I hope to see you on the streets, and I hope the rules for everyone was good enough.